definitely going to change that bit of music because that was absolutely terrible. Good evening, everyone. A little bit different to what I'm used to doing. I'm usually doing this at the end of the week and thinking about talking just about local football. So it's a bit strange for myself, really. I hope everyone's doing okay. I hope everyone's halfway through the week is doing all right. As I say, we're nearly at another weekend, which hopefully everyone's looking forward to. But there's been plenty of football going on, especially over the last couple of days. So we've had Champions League, we've had some Championship games, some talking points in the Championship as well. I know anyone that's joining us tonight or listening to this later on that's a Town supporter, I know there's a lot of talking points there, which hopefully later on me and Darren will cover. I'm just waiting, hopefully, for Darren to join us soon. So yeah, we're tonight, as I say, it's going to be a little different. There he is. Tonight's going to be a little bit different to my normal podcast. Obviously, my normal podcast, I talk about local football, I talk about the SIL and stuff like that. But me and Darren had a chat a couple of weeks. Must have been about a month ago, weren't it, Darren? We had a chat about you coming on and us basically just gibbering for an hour or so about football.
Yeah, man. No, yeah. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
I'm like, oh, what are you wearing? Yeah. We thought we'd talk about football and stuff and pretend we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I think some of it we might know about. Some of it we probably don't. To be honest, it's that football manager stage, isn't it, where you think you know how to run a football club and when you don't, to be honest.
Oh man, I don't know. Every fan knows how to run the club better than their club.
Yeah. It's that magic moment when you're standing in the stands and you're like, you know, I know better than him. Yeah, just go round him. Just go round him. That's
the Evans sketch, isn't it? Go round him. Oh God. Oh dear.
Well, we'll just let people know, obviously, how we know each other. We used to play Sunday League football together many, many moons ago. I can see that Gary has joined us in the and is listening at the moment. Obviously, we used to play with Gary as well. Just take that as you will.
Yeah. Well, he's a bit younger than us, so he was cannon fodder in the showers when he. My kid, we never had showers.
No, it was just was it? Get the bottle at the end of the game and just spray your knees. And
we had a village hall, 30 men in one room. Fucking have that.
That was brilliant. That was awesome. That was that little kitchen, serving hatch, little cups of tea.
We did it proper.
But that picture was brilliant, though. That we literally made that. What was it? I think we're the first Sunday League team that had square goals that we just bent the poles at the back.
What about it at Flash? Give me a hammer.
People used to say, was it? I think it was. I think I might have been Scott when it that went and helped do the lines one night and decided to like put the name of the football club as you walked up towards the pitch, like you were walking out to like the Burnabout or something like that.
My days! That was. We never did the pitch like the San Siro, though, did we? Never did circles.
No. But to be honest, though, I think it was.
I guess he used to come and cut it, didn't he, on his tractor or something?
Yeah, it was the farmer next to the pitch that used to come along and just cut the grass for free, just because he had time.
Good old boy. That's it.
But yeah, no, we had a decent Sunday side. We won Division 3, got to the semi-final of I don't know what cup it was, and had about 20 going on at one stage.
They had that cut that went over about 3 seasons, didn't they? What was that one? That was a weird one.
That was like a Champions League one.
It was like Champions League. By the time you got to the final, the team in the final were like bottom of the 4th division. It had gone on so long, right?
They'd become a vets team.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. It's like having to see out the fixtures.
But no, that's just how we had a good season, won the league and everything like that. I think that was probably the first league that I won.
There was a couple of good seasons.
And it was the last.
There was a couple of good seasons. Didn't we go? I'm sure we went from Division 4 or 5 up to like the first division, like in consecutive years.
I don't know if I was involved then, mate. I don't know if I was involved.
Well, no, they was going. Yeah, they was going a little bit, and then they must have been short, or I probably went along around the line or something, and then ended up playing, and and then like I say, there was a couple of seasons where there was sort of back-to-back sort of promotions, and then I left before the end. Then because we sort of went up into the bit of reserves, didn't we? So,
I ended up going over to help out Graham over at Pound.
That's right, you traitor.
I wasn't a traitor. Just on the Saturday side. It was the Saturday side that I'd done, not the Sunday.
Of course it was.
I went over.
Oh, Graham, I'll play for you, Graham.
That was weird. It was like Graham was our chairman at one point, but then also had his own Sunday side as well. It's like it's a bit weird.
I love the Panfield, but we used to have some cracking games against them. We always used to play like pre-season and that, didn't we? Yeah, we used to have some cracking games against them.
But that was a decent pitch as well, because that was literally, mate, that was right next to the pub. It was awesome. That was so good.
It couldn't have been any better, could it, really?
But he spent loads of money on that, though. Because obviously
he got a grant, didn't he? He got a grant, didn't he? He got a lottery grant. So
he done. Oh, no, as a Football Foundation grant, I think.
Well, some difference.
Well, yeah. But he spent a lot of money on there, and obviously
it was a work avoidance loan. That's what it was.
Something like that. But no, that was when I started managing, because I ended up managing Bell United on a Saturday. Obviously, that went great because I think they folded like the season after.
He had a cracking impact then.
Yeah. Wasn't one of my greatest. I think they joined up with Conan Gain, I think, at some point.
Conan Gain had some good teams as well.
I don't know what happened. Honestly, I think those two joined and became like Bell and Gain or Conan. I don't know.
Because we played at Conan Gain for a while when we first started out, when we was just a load of like drinkers in the pub, just decided we're going to get a football team together as a bit of a laugh, and then we played up Conan Gain as their reserves, and then all moved on from there.
I know they've got was it Cone United now? Because I've seen them on Twitter. I think they've actually added me on Twitter somewhere. I'm sure there's like a Cone United. Obviously, you still got like Els Cone and Gas Rec and stuff like that. See, they're the
Gas Rec's Colchester.
Yeah, because the thing is, you've got like our SIL is the equivalent to Border League. So you've got it's quite difficult to explain. I think that's the same tier, is it, in football? I don't know, because it's Essex and Suffolk Border League, which I find quite weird.
Yeah.
Because then you can have some Suffolk teams in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it works on distance. You've got travel and shit like that. Surely it works out on something like that. I was saying that. I mean, Cornwall, the first team at Cornwall, they had to travel all over the place. That was sort of Regions League at the time, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but see, that's the other thing. That's the shame, I think. Around that area there, you've only really got a few Regions team, which is really weird because, like in Ipswich, you've got probably about about 4 or 5 quite near each other. And then you've got obviously.
I don't even know what the league's called now.
Fellow None.
Oh, of course
Fellow
it is.
None now. Yeah, it's Fellow None now. Which, to be honest, it's still quite a decent standard, but you get a lot of players that are kind of dropping down to like Border League and SIO level because they don't want to travel. because you're still travelling
which
quite
is fair
far.
enough.
Well, you look at Halstead. I think Halstead are in. I don't think they're a furlough anymore, are they? They've gone up, and have they gone Rhineham or something like that? Because I know they played Gym United last season, didn't they? Or hashtag, I can't remember. That was a big thing.
I don't know, mate. I have not got a clue. That's bad.
It's supposed to be like your local, a localish team, isn't it?
Yeah. That's all right. It don't matter. I'll clue myself up for next week. I'll give you a big story about how they're doing.
Right.
Yeah. I've been watching them every game for weeks. Go on, sorry.
West Ham. We'll go on to West Ham.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to talk about West Ham first?
You would like
because we're doing well.
Guru.
You might as well talk about the happy stuff, you know.
Yeah, we'll talk about the happy stuff, and then we'll go to Arsenal, which kind of goes down a little bit, and then we'll probably move on to Town a little bit later, where we'll do that towards the end of the show. So West Ham having a great season, which
having a storm, aren't we? Really,
it's probably quite strange as a West Ham supporter, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. I'm not gonna. Yeah, exactly that. Well, we had Moyes before, and they should have given him a chance. But the thing is, you know, Pellegrini was shoved under our nose, and it was like, "Ooh, Pellegrini," and we took him. And to be fair, I was sort of quite excited when we got him, and that because the players he could attract, and he did attract some players, and But Moyes has come in, and he's done. You know, we're playing good football as well. It's not like he's come in and steadied the shit and just playing long ball football. We're playing good football. We're playing like Spain did a few years ago. We ain't got an actual striker. We're playing like 3 at the back and 7 in midfield.
It's to say you look at the table and it's not like you're up there with other teams that are, how can I put it, should be on par, if you know what I mean. You know, you got Chelsea, which was a place above you, and Liverpool, which is a place underneath you, and Everton obviously have always been there and thereabouts anyway. So, I've always kept an eye on West Ham because, say, some of my family support West Ham. Obviously, knowing you lads as well. Obviously, you're a West Ham supporter. Gary's a West Ham supporter as well. Scott. So West Ham's always been kind of
we kind of didn't have a choice. It was it was either that or be homeless. So you fast become a West Ham fan, you know. I can support.
That becomes a priority.
Sometimes you do what you got to do.
I've always kind of thought that West Ham was always one of those sides that, because obviously you had that era where they won everything, including the World Cup. Well,
all 3 of our players are in the team.
You kind of have that expectation. Do you know what I mean? There was always an expected club to always be.
Yeah, but that was 1966, and it was through the 60s and 70s. This is what makes me laugh about West Ham fans. Are like, we had 3 players in the team that won the World Cup, so they think we should be challenging for Champions League every year. It's like, dude, it's like 40, 50 years ago. Like, you know, it does make me laugh. And when they get on about the board as well, like, you know, say what you want, but we'd gone from a team that was sort of pogoing sort of down and up and not really getting things sorted to being able to pay out 43 million on crap strikers. You know, I don't think they've done that bad, really. You know, they've in the same season that we bought Diop and Fornals as well, which was another 40, 50 million. You know.
Well, we kind of had a chat a little bit about the board last night, and kind of the expectations that the supporters put on there. Obviously, getting the new ground and stuff like that. They're going, well, you know, we should be in Champions League and playing Champions League football. But you got to kind of understand that West Ham, as probably a club, is not ready to probably play Champions League football. I'd say possibly maybe Europa for a couple of seasons just to kind of get that experience, because it's a massive step up to go for. I know the Premiership is, supposedly the best league in the world, but it's still that step up when you're playing against sides you've never played against before.
Yeah, of course it is.
But as I say, so I'm just looking back on like results and stuff like that.
Well, if I'm on like a few West Ham pages on Facebook and that, and it's they've been very quiet about the board recently.
Yeah,
and it might be because we're doing well.
Yeah.
They spent hardly any money. They get on about that. I mean, they kicked off about a strike, but Moisey did say he weren't going to make the mistakes that they made in the past. He'd rather hold on for the summer and get a better deal on a better striker rather than rush it in January, which was fair play, really. And we're not doing too bad for it, to be fair. But if we got the team we have playing the way we are with a goal, a striker that can stick 20 goals in this season, then we are realistically looking at Europa League.
Do you not think that having Lingard coming in? I know he's not a striker or anything like that, but he creates.
Yeah. He's looked sharp. He's looked really sharp. I like him. I thought he was just a bit of a. He was a bit of a showy ponce, to be honest, like an Instagram darling. But he had his moments for United, but can never be consistent. So this is the thing. I've spoke to a few people about Lingard, about if he's about buying him at the end of the season if the opportunity's there, and it's like you've got to see if he's consistent. I think we need to see if he carries on playing the way he's playing until the end of the season. Then of course, he's going to be worth a few quid. And you'll just hope that we've got some sort of deal that if they do make him available, that we can have sort of first sniff at him. Really,
I think he's one of those players that's like you get it in all leagues, all cup competitions and stuff like that. You have your big fishes and your little ponds, and I think when he was at Man United, as I say, he had his glimpses and stuff like that, but he had his chances. But now this is his chance to kind of show that he is a big fish.
Well, he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? He got shut out at United. He's pushed out the England squad, so he's got a point to prove. Which is beneficial to West Ham at the moment.
See, I was hoping that Wiltshire was going to do that.
That was a real shame. It was a real shame. But he just wasn't that player, was he? Just wasn't the player he was when he was sort of 17, 18 at Arsenal.
You do
which
find
is a shame. Too many injuries, too many. I think even at a young age, he had a few knocks and. It sort of just didn't work out, which was a shame.
There's a lot of players out there. I saw it was on Twitter. Rio Ferdinand talking to is it Morrison? Who used to play for United?
Ravel Morrison.
Yeah. And obviously the type of player that he was, and how far he could have gone, and what Alex Ferguson had turned around and said about him as well. Now, I find United do that a lot. United have a lot of these young talents and stuff like that, but they kind of get wasted a little bit.
Well, you say, Pogba, he was in the United, because it was him and Ravel Morrison played together in the centre midfield. And you sort of said if you could harness all that talent, they'd be unstoppable. But Ravel Morrison, again, he was an enigma, really. He'd have a game where he'd just absolutely be unplayable, and then he'd have a game where he just wouldn't even be on the pitch. It's just frustrating, really.
I'm just sorry. We've had an evening all from Deanomania, and I know a few Deans, so I don't know which Dean that is. I don't know if it's a Dean we know.
Hi, Dean.
So, hi, Dean.
What you wearing, Dean?
You can answer that whichever way you want. I've also had a message from Mr. Walton on Facebook asking for the link to come in, so hopefully he'll come in a bit.
Oh, brilliant!
Which because I did. I messaged him earlier and turned around and said that he'll probably get a mention. Obviously, going on about what we were talking about last night with the turn of pace.
Oh yeah.
But if he comes in, we'll talk about that then. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about Arsenal, to be honest. I've gone past that stage of defending them. I've gone past that stage of defending kind of the board.
Yeah.
And as an Arsenal, I wouldn't. So I say follow more than
I mean,
supporter.
say about the board. I mean, they've spent money. It's not like they haven't spent money, is it? It's
But I don't think they've spent it in the right places.
yeah, it's not the board's responsibility. The board's responsibility is to make the money available, isn't it? It's down to your coaches and your scouts to pick the talent.
But is it though?
Unless you've got director of football.
Because I saw there was an article once again on Twitter the other day where Arsene Wenger had turned around and said, because obviously they'd done the Emirates and everything like that, that they had to sell key players to make sure that they didn't go bust because of building the Emirates. Now,
no, I thought that was all paid for. That was one of the things That's why I had them frugal years.
I don't know if I can find it. I'll see if while we're talking, I'll have a little look through. But I'm sure it turned around and said because that's the reason because he didn't want to sell Fabregas. There was no reason to sell Fabregas. I always found it quite strange. You know, I know Henry wanted to kind of go somewhere to show that he's got that footballing ability and he wanted to win stuff and stuff like that. But I always found it a bit weird because why did he have to? Because he was in his prime. He was in his prime. The only thing that he hadn't won was the Champions League, and he was nearly there. It weren't like the way it is now, where we're barely qualifying for Europa League. We were qualifying for Champions League. We're getting to quarters, semi-finals, finals. Right? Yes, we lost when we got to the final. We lost against Barcelona. To be honest, I still sit
Which
here.
Which is no shame.
Yeah, no, it is no shame. And to be honest, we went 1-0 up with 10 men. So you've got to think, right, so if we'd have had 11 men on the day, could it have been different? And it probably would have been different because I think Barcelona were quite shocked of how Arsenal could actually play. But it's so frustrating. These big players all went really, really quickly, and it weren't that they were leaving when they were playing crap or coming towards the end of their career.
Yeah.
They still had 2, 3, 4, 5 more seasons left in them. A lot of them did. So, was it, okay, the board was telling everyone one thing, oh, no, it's all paid for, everything's all right. And really, they had to sell players to pay for it because it must have been a lot of bloody money.
Well, yeah, of course, but they did have a few frugal years, and I thought the idea was that it was sort of the great this stadium was paid for. But if they're now saying, "Oh, actually, we changed our minds," which don't surprise you with football.
But if clubs, to be honest, there is one thing I'm liking about Arsenal at the moment is I know they've always been about the youth, and Wenger was always about the youth, but I think Arteta's taking it to that one step further and using them in the league. Where Wenger weren't doing that. He was like, I've got the youth here, I'll use them in the FA Cup or I'll use them in the group stages of the Europa League or Champions League, sorry. Because that's when we actually could get in the Champions League. Or we'll use them in the what do you call it? I don't know, it would have been the Carling Cup then. Yeah, and he was using the youth then, which was great, but you never see him push through really to the first team. Where now Arteta, I think, has gone, do you know what? We are going to have to use the youth here now.
Yeah, they've got and the thing is, if you get a couple of young players see a clear path and they start playing better anyway, because there's an obvious chance they'll move into the first team. It's going to be a struggle if you're a young player and you know that you're only going to be playing in the cup games. No matter how well you play, come Saturday you're going to be back in the reserves or on the bench or whatever.
I think Emil Smith-Rowe's done really well.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, once again, it's those players that were there before him should have done better. I'm not being funny. We'll talk about Ozil in a minute because he just frustrates the hell out of me. But Torreira, he probably should have done a lot better than what he did. You saw glimpses of what he could do.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out. And I think Smith Rowe's gone in there and gone, do you know what? I'm going to grab the ball by the horns, and this is what I'm going to do. And he does. He fits in really well, and a lot of the young players do fit in quite well.
Well, you like to think so, because you like to think they'll be sort of coaching and playing in the same sort of way. So,
but sometimes when sometimes you do get those young players that go in and they just kind of look like they're treading water a little bit.
I mean, yeah, sometimes the stage sort of consumes them. West Ham had a bit of an issue, not a bit of an issue. They had Odebeku came on for West Ham the other day, and they're all singing his praises behind the scene. They reckon he's absolute mustard, but it almost like the occasion was a bit too big for him. And I think he came on for about the last sort of 20 minutes, I think. But yeah, just didn't even get in the game. So,
do you think that's the reason why a lot of clubs are going down, like kind of the youth way? Because obviously, with everything that's going on, they haven't got that pressure of thousands of people watching them. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what
that's deep, man? That's deep. I never thought of it like that, but that's actually a really good point.
Do you know what I mean?
Because you've got that room to make mistakes, ain't you? You're not going to have the crowd on your back.
Yeah, and I think it's because if you
should be a philosopher, man. That was way out there. I was like, whoa, he's throwing a curveball at me. Yeah, that's like a deep question, man. It's a really good point. I'm not used to it.
I'm not used to saying it. I actually thought about that one. But yeah, it is though. You got to think is when you go out and play, because when you play for under 18s in the reserves, they do play at the grounds sometimes, but that's to say they play with a minimal amount of supporters there. They don't really have any supporters there when they play at the big grounds, which I don't know why they don't do it. But even a normal season without fucking COVID, they don't have supporters at the ground for a lot of reserve team games.
I think they're allowed to, don't they? I just don't think they get the crowd. I've been to see West Ham women a few times now, and it's cracking. It's a cracking game. I say women's football's come a hell of a long way. When no disrespect to women, but when we were kids, it was a decent Sunday side would have give the women's team. But now they're absolutely quality. Just like.
Well, I'm hoping it's because you got. I was involved with a team down here called Henley, and they've got a women's side, and they're a very decent women's side. And to be honest, Town are a decent women's side. I don't know what stage they got to the FA Cup last season, but ended up coming against Man City and getting beaten quite badly. But I remember when Town women were not really thought of, not really heard of, and obviously improved that much that they managed to get to that stage of the FA Cup and play Man City. But yeah, the women's games come on a lot. Do you know what? I've probably found the World Cup women's probably more exciting sometimes than the men's. Not the last one, obviously, because we've done quite well.
Yeah.
But the women at one stage were doing better than what the men were. So I was quite happy to watch that. Same with Arsenal.
I find you don't get too many boring games in women's football. One team will generally just go at it if both teams don't. Whereas sort of men's football can sometimes,
it's too tactical.
You sort of draw stalemates. Whereas I'm not. You're saying women's football isn't tactical now. Oh, Alex.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a bold thing to say.
What I'm saying
in these modern times, Alex. Oh my days.
what I'm saying is because it's once again that pressure. It's that pressure where
it's the losses are a lot bigger in the men's game, unfortunately, because there's a lot more money involved.
Yeah.
And and sponsorship and things like that. And it shouldn't be like that, but unfortunately, it is.
But this is a business where you look at the two players that, and I'm going to talk about them now as much as I didn't want to. Ozil and Bale, right? I'm going to use those two as an example. Okay, if they played football for the love of football, they'd be playing. You wouldn't want
Yeah,
to be sitting on the bench. You wouldn't want to sit there and you'd be like, I don't care what club I'm at, I want to play football. Do you know? And we
yeah.
use
I
that
mean,
as an example.
the hunger's gone for them, though, isn't it? They've got too used to sitting on big money or doing very little for it, you know. And you know they've won trophies. Ozil's bloody won the World Cup, you know.
Yeah.
You know they've won trophies. They've achieved. I suppose. Yeah, I suppose for a bit of self-respect, you'd play out your skin for your last couple of years. But you know, even if your legs can't, I mean, Bale, you know, maybe not Bale, but Ozil, like, even if his legs can't do it, he's still a very skillful player. He could still use his brain and just slow down a couple of paces and just spray the ball about. But yeah, for some reason, he's just. But do you reckon he's either he just feels not wanted by the club or there's something going on at home? Because that quality don't just disappear, does it?
No, I'm not being funny. If I'd want to play now. If I could play football, I'd play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I physically can't because I'd end up basically looking like Peter Griffin running around a football pitch. It's not a pretty sight. You know,
Yeah, bloody my
I
knees
was
are
never,
mash.
I never had any pace whatsoever before. Now, literally, the only time I pick up pace is if I'm going downhill.
Trip over and start rolling.
Yeah. So if I had the opportunity to play now, I would. So even and this is what I'm trying to get at. Even if there might be something else behind it, but the things like Bale's been doing when he's been talking about playing golf over football. You've got to realise, mate, you wouldn't be the person you are if it wasn't for football. So don't disrespect it.
I think that was more of a fuck you to Real Madrid, though, wasn't it? Because the way he's been treated there.
Well, then he shouldn't have gone there in the first place. He should have stayed in the Premiership, been the big player that he
come
was.
come on. If even in your job, right? If you got offered a job with a top company for big money, you're sitting there going, are you going to sit there and go, nah, actually, I'll stay where I am, thanks, I'm all right. Even if it is for a couple of years, you're getting offered like double the money. Even if it's just for a couple of years, you take it.
So many big players have gone to Madrid, and it's ruined their career.
Yeah, it's very much if your face fits. Players like Cassano and Owen, like their goal scoring was absolutely phenomenal. Their goal scoring rate for Real Madrid, but couldn't start a game. Every time they come on, they scored. Just it's mental.
You look at, as I say, Owen being the last. I would say that it's such a shame him leaving the Premiership because he made the Premiership exciting. Do you know what I mean? Same as much as Beckham went over there and done really, really well. It's the same with him as well.
Yeah, they were exciting times for the Premier League anyway, man. It was down to two players. There was some quality players playing in the Premier League. Well, it still is. It's just been But, Owen was playing at the same time as Paul Scholes and Beckham and Gerrard and, all players like that.
But they were some hardcore players though as well. I'm not being funny. They were hardcore players. They were like, I was watching Paul Gascoigne's documentary. Well, I say I've been watching it. I watched a little bit of it, fell asleep, and then I watched a little bit again the next night. So I haven't actually got through the full documentary yet. Putting it on before I've been going to bed, going to sleep. So I've been watching a bit each night.
You know what to do? Put it on a bit earlier.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the brains in the outfit, but I suggest to you go to bed a little bit earlier, put that on, you'll see it out.
No, mate.
It'll be okay.
No. Mate, as soon as my edit's that pen, mate, I'm going. But no, to watch the type of players that were in his era, the likes of like Vinnie Jones, Fashanu, obviously part of the crazy gang and everything like that, the way they used to play. And then you go through your Cantonars, your was it Kanchelskis was at Man United then as well. Ryan Giggs was just coming through then, Lee Sharp, and then you go to your Newcastle where Newcastle.
I thought he was going to break out into song then.
Break out into song.
Michael Parker. Oh my god!
But yeah, it was that era that kind of paved the way for like the 90s and stuff like that. Where now I do think it's not just, as I say, the love of the game. It's more about the money, and when you are offered big money, you will go, whether it's going to be good for your career or not. Which I do think people need to start thinking, because football's not what you're looking. How many years playing football now? Really, realistically.
10 years, I suppose. You play 10 years at the top, can't you? Depends how early you come onto the scene.
Yeah. But even
players like James Milner. James Milner's been playing forever. But he burst into the scene when he was 16. Yeah, he came onto the scene when he was 16. And it just feels like he's played for forever.
You know, you hear it at World Cups. That frustrates me as well. Oh, this is probably his last World Cup. Why? You know,
yeah. How old was Roger Miller when he got called out of retirement? He was about 39. Was he 40?
No, it's only because they had no one dancing on the team.
I mean, but yeah, what a competition he had though. He banged him in, and he had the best goal celebration.
They've turned around and said that last World Cup would have been Ronaldo's and Messi's last one. Nah, no way. No way. I think both.
Really, what you see Ronaldo playing. Oh, what the last one was their last?
Yeah, they turned around and said that was probably their last one.
Yeah. When was the Euros? Was meant to be last year, wasn't it?
You were supposed to be this year Euros. No, yeah, 20. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was meant to be last year, but there's
yeah. So until you got because the World Cup is next year, well, supposed to be.
Yeah, well, that ain't gonna happen. There's gonna be too much in the yeah.
Well, I don't know. Because where is it supposed to be? Let's have a look.
I'm not talking about it, because we'll start talking about COVID, and I'll get my soapbox out, and I'll start ranting, and it'll take a completely different direction. we don't need that. We don't need that.
Right. Okay. I think it's next year. I don't know where it is. It doesn't really matter where it is. But I don't think that was their last World Cup. Not Ronaldo, because you look at how fit Ronaldo is. He's not really had major injuries, has he?
Yeah, he's kind of sexy, isn't he? Mm.
So just creep out every now and then, don't they?
I know.
Starts thinking of that toner advert, didn't you? But you don't. I don't see either of those two retiring any time in the next. I don't know. It looks like those two probably could go on for years and years and years, to be honest. But I don't know.
You don't know, do you?
Those two again. They love the game. I could see Ronaldo coming back to the Premiership at some point.
Yeah, it's a tough one, though, isn't it? Because he's knocking on. He's 35 now, isn't
he? Yeah, I think he just ended his career at United, because it was United that made him.
I don't know.
It was United that made him.
Well, yeah, kind of helped himself as well a little bit, I suppose.
It put him on the stage, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Mm. Every player needs that stepping stone. Every player needs that. Bale's done it with Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that put him on the stepping stone to where he went.
Yeah, West Ham did it with Carlos Tevez.
What a coup that was. Seriously.
Dodgy underhand dealings out with it. It was proper like...
The amount of people
brown
across
envelopes
the country,
and a little chef, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Meeting up with the roadside calf.
As soon as that came up on Sky Sports, I think every football fan in the country just went, "What?"
Yeah.
I think even the players
at West Ham standing there like that.
What?
Yeah. Even the players, even Tevez and Mascherano stood there, even in the picture, they're a bit like, "What's happened?
Where are we? Where are we?"
They look like two poor little orphan kids who Madonna had just gone and stolen off the street, you know? Like, so I dropped them in the middle of London, like, boom, there you go. Like,
just go play football.
They look petrified, you know?
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's, oh, but then
Tevez never had a scar till he moved down to West Ham. So, I mean, it's tough around there.
yeah,
It's tough
that's
around there,
agreed.
man.
Totally agree. But then,
Oh.
yeah, but to be honest, the hardest one out of the two has got to be Mascherano because he buggered off up to Liverpool.
Well, yeah.
He thought, well, I've had enough of these Cockney bastards. I'm pissing off up to see the Scousers.
That's it. We're going to make my life a bit easier.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was literally. You got that has probably got to be one of the most infamous fucking transfer things ever.
Yeah, I mean, if there were obviously there was some underhand dealings there, but if there wasn't, then it was obvious there was. Do you know what I mean? It weren't like we had Alan Pardew. You know, Alan Pardew did a brilliant job. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like the manager attracted him. You know, like.
This is Alan Pardew. Who?
But I tell you what I think. Right, I tell you what I think. I think Khedira Abchan, who held the rights to Mascherano and Tevez, thought that because he was trying to buy West Ham, I think he thought that was nailed on. So when he did the deal, I think he thought by the time anything comes up, he'll own the club and it won't matter. He'll dissolve the contract within the club.
Yeah.
And then obviously that didn't happen. And then we had our pants pulled down. I mean, I'm only speculating. Do you know what I mean? But it just seems a bit funny how they'd even consider setting up that deal.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny. If you didn't have Tevez, you wouldn't have stayed up.
10 other players on the pitch, mate. I mean, I'm just.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. But was it last game of the season at Old Trafford, weren't it? I'm sure it was. Was it last game of the season at Old Trafford he scored?
Yes.
Yeah. To keep you up. That's where you sit there and go, I don't give a monkeys if that's underhand dealing. Just don't go.
Yeah, we didn't get relegated and it cost us about £5 million fine or something, didn't it? That's well worth the $5 million. Do you know what I mean? It's well worth the fine. Yeah. I think the thing is, I think they were considering giving us a points deduction. This is the remix, man. I was spitting rhymes. Yeah, they were talking points deduction, but I think they thought we was already relegated. So they find us, and then Tevez pulls his cape on, and then Tevez, right? He did such a good job for us that season that whenever he returned, even if he scored for Man United, the West Ham fans cheered. That's how much they thought of him.
I was going to be honest, and I know we're talking about West Ham a lot, but you have had some characters play for you, though.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not. Obviously, the Canio being the major.
Obviously.
When he grabbed the ball because the goalkeeper got injured, and he was literally all he had to do was just header it and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, he caught it in the box, didn't he?
Yeah, was it Harry was managing? Was it Harry Redknapp managing you then? Who was managing you then?
Harry Redknapp bought him, yeah. So quite possibly, yeah.
And he just went, "What the hell are you doing?" He's injured. But no other player on the pitch would have done that.
But another time, he'd have took the piss and done a bicycle kick and stuck it in the back of the net. No, it depends what mood he's in on the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll keep this down, I'll catch it. Yeah, another time he's on his back flicking it into the net. Like,
didn't he sit down one time as well on the halfway line?
Yeah, probably.
He sat down on the halfway line and refused to play because he wouldn't get a penalty. Because I think he'd been fouled about 3 or 4 times in the box, and he went and sat on the halfway line and went, "I'm not playing no more. Sub me." And Harry Redknapp's going, "No, I'm not subbing you." And he just sat there.
That sounds about right.
As a professional player, you're sulking. Oh. We've never had characters like that at us. Well, no, we had Paul Merson, who just played drunk, I think, most of the time.
Yeah.
I think he was the only character we ever had at Arsenal. It's Arsenal, one of those teams that are like, oh no, we have to be professional here. We're not allowed to have a laugh and a joke or anything like that.
Yeah, they do
I
seem
think
a little bit straight laced, don't they?
I think that's the reason why Gazza went to Spurs. Mate, some of his beat just ones I've been involved with. I think on his documentary they were talking about that he got into a van and he had one of the apprentices like strapped to the back of the van, and he was like screaming around a roundabout in the car park at the training ground or something like that. Oh my god! I'm glad that never happened when we played. Close to it though. I think the only time I've ever had anything that bad is when I tried to get in the back of Cootie's Toyota Celica.
Mm.
Yeah, that was eventful.
Yeah, you're probably best off just getting in the fucking boot.
Yeah, basically. I nearly was in the boot anyway.
That's it, yeah.
It's like,
That was bottoming out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, mate, this is not the way. Really not the way. But it was good in the long run. I've never bought a Toyota Celica.
Well, yeah. I mean, just looking at it, Al, you'd have thought that maybe, just maybe, you'd have fought against it anyway.
Yeah, but this is why I had no choice. I had no choice. Al, get in the back. Oh, okay. Do I get to play Saturday or Sunday? Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll get in the back.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. So this. Oh my god. This is what I'm dreading actually talking about this. To be honest. Right. Town. I don't know. Did you hear about anything that happened last night or over the last couple of days with Town?
Do you know what? No. I'll be honest.
Right. So basically, not yesterday. What was it? No, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
There was some protests from some Town supporters, which, to be honest, I think is quite justified with the way Town's going at the moment. You know, yeah. I think a lot of the Town supporters feel that kind of the soul's been ripped out of the club and it's not the club it used to be. And obviously Lambert is not helping with the situation.
Yeah.
I'm not a Town supporter myself, but obviously living here, you kind of want your local club to be successful. And Town being the team that it is, you would think that it would be higher than it is.
Well, yeah, they've had success, haven't they? They've had success sort of a few times over the years. So, you know, you'd expect them to be up there, but then Leeds were up there, weren't they? And they had to sort of go back down to come back up. Trouble is, it's how far can you go down before it's too far to come back up is the issue. Yeah. Because the further down you go, the less money you get. The less money you get, the harder it is to attract bigger players, the better players of the league.
So
Ipswich is a name normally. Ipswich is a name normally pulls. You know, they normally get some good loan signings in because they're a, as a name of the club, they should be able to pull some decent. They normally get a few decent players off West Ham, to be honest.
Because they got Freddie Sears, didn't they? He's still playing for them at the moment.
Yeah, he was. That was a shame. That was. He was all full of promise. Although he scored some goals and he sort of lowered down, but he never really hit the heights at West Ham, did he? But the trouble is, West Ham is with bringing youngsters through is unless they're exceptional, as we're finding out with Reece Oxford, who's now starting to come good at 20 or 21 years old. You know, we've always been in a position where we couldn't take the risk. You can't take the risk sending out a youngster out because the position you are in the league. So. But yeah,
see, it's been difficult because I spoke a little bit about kind of the youth with Town, and I've done a show a couple of Friday nights ago about it and talking about looking at local players and stuff like that. The unfortunate thing with Town is that you've got Norwich. Because as much as any Town supporters, and say if there's Town supporters in, more than happy to comment, or you can come on if you want and say how you feel. And But a lot of them may not agree with me, but Norwich is a bigger club. And the reason why they're a bigger club is because they've kind of sustained themselves between Championship and Premiership, where Town have been mid-table Championship and kind of slipped themselves down. And as you say, they haven't got that draw of getting those players in. Because they haven't got, you can't sit there and turn around and go, right, so this season, you sit there with your board and your manager and everything, or the manager comes in, he turns around and goes, right, and sit there with your players and turn around and go, right, so what we want to do this season is we want to be challenging for this, and this. Well, at the moment, the only thing that Town really can challenge for is any cup competitions they go into and winning Division 1.
Which should be a priority for them.
Yeah. No cup competition should be a priority. It should be getting
they should
out
laugh
of that
everything
league.
else off. Yeah.
So to sit there and turn around and say to players, because what they want to do is you want to be looking at Championship players that are not playing all the time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you look at the ones.
I mean, the thing is, when you're in the League One and Championship things like this, sometimes it's handy to have an older head. Someone who's experienced relegation, someone who's experienced promotion, someone who's just been there. Sometimes it's good to have them in the change room just to steady the ship. So
I do think there needs to be a change. I do think that Lambert needs to go. But I mean,
something's obviously not working, is it? Something's not working. But where it's not working.
We spoke a little bit about this last night, and I had a little bit of a different view. Because I still think that some of the players need to take responsibility. Some of the players need to kind of sit there and turn around and go, well, hold on a minute, we're playing for this club, we're playing for this badge. The supporters are passionate. They might not be able to show it as much at the moment because of what's going on being in the ground. But a lot of those players that have been there already should see what the support is like there. And the club has got a lot of history. So we need to start playing for the badge and basically pull our socks up and start playing better.
They need the passion to come back, don't they? They need to get. So maybe Lambert's a bit too wishy-washy. I don't know. He's done well previously at other clubs, but then it might not be the same sort of club setup. This is the thing. There's so many things to take into account. Maybe it is time for a change. But where do you go? Who's available? Do you go for an up and coming manager, or which is potentially taking a gamble? But I mean, it'd be a punt. But Eddie Howe's out of a job.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in sticking a contract under his nose. He's had experience down in those leagues, and he knows how to get the best out of what he's got. So,
but you've also got the likes of people sit there and turn around and go, "Oh, Lampard. Why would you offer Lampard Ipswich?" Well, I'm not being funny. Chelsea, that was there for him already.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, he's always going to get that crack, wasn't he?
That was. It don't matter what happened. At some point, he would manage Chelsea. Now, just because he's managed Chelsea doesn't mean that he's too big time to drop down a couple of leagues to improve his management style. Because I'm not being funny. He done well at Derby. He got he was. I think. Well, no, they didn't get promotion, did they? Did they get promotion?
I know, lost in the playoff final, didn't they?
Yeah, so they got to the playoffs, so he knows how to get people into the playoffs and that area of the league. So why not? Why not go there?
Yeah. Again, it's worth asking. And so, like you say, he's cut his teeth in the Championship, so it's not like he's new to it. So I know he's a bit further down, but he don't seem like the sort of bloke who's scared to sort of pull his sleeves up and get his hands dirty, as it were. So. I think it probably. I mean, there's nowhere in the Premiership Lampard can go, is there, as a manager? This is the thing, so maybe you are looking Championship and League One, but I can't even think of the Championship at the moment, really. Whether there's anywhere,
Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, it's done wonders for Gerrard, hasn't it? He's absolutely spanking it up there. But if Gerrard's had a couple of seasons to find his feet and he's got Rangers playing the way he has, and they're absolutely whooping the league.
He's been clever. He's been clever with the players that he's bought. He's done what everyone turns around and says. You need that bit of experience. You need that, those types of players that have been there and done it at that level already. But he's also clever because he knows what that type of league is. I'm not being funny. No disrespect to the Scottish League because, they draw crowds and they're interesting games and stuff like that. But I still will sit here and tell Anna they're a championship level.
Even Rangers and Celtic, they wouldn't be competing at the top of the Premier League.
No.
So
he's done well because he's got, look, taking Defoe there. What a stroke of genius. What an absolute stroke of genius. He's coming towards the end of his career. He can't really make it in the Premiership anymore, but he's still got a bit about him, that awareness of how he's played in the Premiership. So he's used that experience. And that's helped, I don't know. I like it. I like Rangers as a story because where they've gone from being literally the bottom of the league in all divisions to just coming all the way back up again, and I've had to do it with basically no money. So I just like that anyway. I'd love to see them win the league just because I think Celtic are getting too cocky.
they had it wrapped up every season, didn't they? Really, no one was realistically challenging, not properly.
I know, but as I say, going back to town, it's horrible. It's horrible to speak to people that are, town supporters. Obviously, I know a lot of people are town supporters, and I'd see it on Facebook and stuff like that. And it is very much when you live here. It's weird because, like, you support West Ham, but you don't live in and around where it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you live here and you realise actually how much of a massive part Ipswich Town is to Ipswich, and what they do and how the town runs and stuff like that, it's just it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Sort of willing them to do well.
Yeah. As I say, I don't support them, I just live here, but I want them to do well. And it's so we were talking about youth earlier. They'll get a couple of good players coming through, but because of the position they are, they just basically they go. They just get snapped up straight away. Hyam being one of them, pushed through to the first team. He played like a season with them, and then he's gone again. It's I don't know. It's just I think now supporters are kind of getting peed off it, and something needs to happen. Something needs to change, whether it's board wise or manager wise. But something definitely does need to change because the last thing you want, as I say, I don't even know what position they're in at the moment, to be honest. Let me get it up. Not a very good one, especially after last night's result. NFL League One table. Well, they ain't got to worry about relegation at the moment, to be honest. But do you know what? Right, you actually look at the table and go, "What are they moaning about?" Right, they're 11th.
Yeah. Now, again, what they're moaning about, they're Ipswich Town, and they're 11th in League One.
Right, but they're not Wigan.
That's what they're moaning about.
They're not Wigan.
11th in the Championship. 23rd. You'd think, oh, why are they moaning? Yeah, that's not too bad at the moment. But 11th in the League One. A team like Ipswich would be hoping to be sitting at the top most of the season.
I don't know, but you look at the team. You look at the teams around, right? And I'll go through Hull, right? Yeah, okay, they're second. I get that, but they're a Premiership. How many? 2, 3, or 3, 4 seasons ago, should I say? Portsmouth, Sunderland, Charlton, Blackpool, and then Wigan. They have all been in the Premiership after Town was. So in some ways, you've got to kind of look and go, as much as that sounds weird, it could be worse. You could be Wigan. You could be sitting 23rd and you were playing Premiership not that long ago. Do you know what I mean? Wigan, I think they're going to end up getting relegated again. Do you know what I mean? It's so difficult because obviously from the outsiders in, we're sitting there thinking, trying to say, right, okay, change Lambert, get Lambert out, bring these influx of players in. Right, the influx of players are not going to come in until after this season ends. So you got to say, right, we're staying in Division 1. You've just got to look at that. Get the season out of the way with. Just get the season out of the way with, and then go from there. But everything, as much as we don't want to get a soapbox about it, everything is different because of the way things are played at the moment. Atmospheres, the amount of teams that have had to pull out of games because of COVID and stuff like that. You all got to take that into account as well, because you look at the Premiership, and I'm not being funny, if people would sit there and turn around and say that 2 seasons ago that Man United would be challenging for the title, I think someone would laugh. Well, a lot of people would laugh because they were nowhere near at that level, and they've not really made drastic changes.
No.
No,
a couple of key signings on it. Bruno Fernandes has been absolutely. I mean, that was a hell of a signing. That was, and that I've seen that at Tellez. Is it Tellez?
I don't know.
Tellez, it bloody is. I'm sure it is. But he looks lively. He's sharp. That can be what it takes to up the tempo of your team. The quality there was never in doubt. They've got like some Martial and Greenwood and Rashford. They just needed someone to sort of piece it all together, and that's what Bruno Fernandes has come in and done. It's allowed Pogba to play more central rather than Pogba pushing on playing an attacking role, because he should be able to play that attacking role, but he just wasn't. Well, he just can't do it like Bruno Fernandes, can he?
No, it's the silly thing is with Pogba. Once again, I think there was so many expectations put on his head.
Yeah.
So many expectations. It's like, he's come back, he's going to save us, we're going to win everything. And then, I'm not being funny, the Italian league and the English league are different leagues.
It's the pressure of the price tag, though.
Yeah, but you've still got... It doesn't matter how much of a good footballer you are, and this is the reason why I will always turn around and say Ronaldo is the greatest of all time, because he's done it in different leagues.
Yeah, you say that. I was going to say, you say that about... just gone completely blank. It's all right. I'll join back in a minute. Pogba. Yeah, but how do you explain Thomas Souček at West Ham? He's been absolutely unbelievable. And he didn't even come from Italy. Where did he come from? Czech Republic?
But you get that, though. There's every now and again you are going to get that, what I call the goal effect.
He was about 13.5 million. Pogba was 90 million. You'd expect him to be able to adapt.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's players out there that can't. Maybe there's players out there that one league will suit them better than the other. It's you found it. It's like trying to think. What was we were talking about earlier? Where we were a few players.
200 grand a week says to me you can adapt your style of play.
Yeah, I would.
If I went to work tomorrow and they said we'll give you 200 grand a week, but we want you to make these windows different, I'd be happy to make them windows differently. I would do that shit. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of guy that I am. But if you get in the chance, you should be able to adapt your style.
Yeah, I know. But then it is, once again, it's the mental thing as well. And I'm not being funny. They must have a lot of pressure on them because it's like, we go and play on a Saturday, we go play on a Sunday. Okay, we miss a penalty. Yeah, our mates are not going to let us live it down. We'll have that with us the rest of their life, especially if it's been recorded. It's always going to be there, right? But as a professional footballer, not only are you going to get your mates taking the piss out of you, you're probably going to get the other team taking the piss out of you, like not just to your face, but like nationally as well.
Yeah.
And then you get all the supporters, you're going to get, and it probably is a couple of times just like strikers when they don't score. The Newcastle striker was, I can't remember his bloody name. He looked about 12.
Not Joe Linton.
No,
Joe Linton.
He come from MLS, and he was like banging in goals.
Fucking Almir, was it Almirian?
Yeah, he banging in goals in the MLS and everything like that. And Newcastle bought him, and they were like, yeah, he's going to score. I think he scored one goal the whole time that he's been there. Right?
No, he's
keeps. Was he? But he starts because of the way he plays is great. I've watched him a couple of times, but he makes space for other strikers and stuff, and he keeps on going. He don't give up.
Yeah.
But it's like you have that one game you don't score, 2 games you don't score, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you start getting in your head of I'm not going to score. Was it with Pogba when he came back because he had all that pressure? Was it I've played crap this game, or I've played crap this game? Or maybe I'm not as good as what I thought I was. Mate.
His ego's far too big for that, mate.
Well, yeah. But you don't know.
It wouldn't be his fault, it'd be everyone else's.
It's probably his barber's fault.
No, it's barber's fault. And like I say, he's got to be on 200 grand a week. 200 grand a week, that gives you Teflon skin, I'm afraid. Do you know what I mean? You are Kevlar. You get paid, you don't take the big bucks for no reason, do you? I know it's not there. They don't plan to be like an idol, and they don't plan to be looked up to, and they don't plan to be booed by the fans. But it comes. They know it's going to happen when they get into it. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure they've watched football before. I've got a sneaky feeling that they know what's going to happen.
So this thing, I think, once you hit like being a professional footballer, what you do is you come off Facebook, you come off Instagram, you come off Twitter, you don't go on any social media, and you literally break every TV that you have in your house, or just do not watch the news at all. Just don't, because it must be. I'm not being funny. Even now. Right, every time we mention penalties and stuff like that, I guarantee you, Glenn Hoddle and Stuart Pearce will always get brought up.
Yep.
And you don't know how many years ago, and it still does now. It still gets brought up now. Do my nutting.
Yeah, to be fair, it will do, isn't
it? It's about 20 odd years ago, and you're still going on about it. Right, one thing
it's important, man. Go on.
Well, it was. As I say, everyone turns around and says that was probably the nearest chance we had of winning the World Cup. Well, apart from last year, the year before, sorry. Apart from the last World Cup, that was probably the nearest chance we had of winning the World Cup. But I think we actually have had better sides since then, to be honest.
Yeah, the thing is, you can have a better side, you can have a better squad, but individually, but can they all play together? The age-old problem the Dutch had. The Dutch individually were like probably one of the best teams in the world, but you put them all together and they hated each other.
Yeah,
so it never worked. Yeah. The squad. Realistically, when we were hitting tournaments with, we had Beckham, Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, Terry, Ferdinand, Neville. When we were hitting tournaments with that team, then realistically on paper you'd think we got to be on for a tournament here.
Yeah.
But but again, at the same time, you're playing against an Italian team that had Pirlo and Gattuso,
Yeah.
in the midfield. So you were still up against good teams then, even though we had a quality team.
The other thing I think it's the expectations again. We used to put so much on. It's like every tournament, but the last tournament, obviously, it was different. Last tournament is, they're too young. They ain't going to win nothing.
Yeah, I was about to say that the time we win it will be. I said win it.
You can't say that. You can't say that. That's it. The hex has been put on. It's never going to happen.
But yeah, the time we win it will be the time, like I say, there's no expectation. We go with a young team like that, and like I say, because there was less expectation. Obviously, expectation builds as the tournament goes on, but if you can get through them early rounds where the fans are still on a high,
yeah,
you can do all right. But yeah, whenever we go with all the big guns, it's never going to. I mean, you look at Argentina, the squads they've gone to World Cups with and not done nothing with it.
And you say you've mentioned Holland, they're another side that have done it. I'm not being funny. Portugal as well. Portugal have gone probably lesser known players, but decent players. Obviously, they've done well in the Euros, which is I don't know if that was expected a little bit.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was expected, but it weren't like a massive
World Cup. Because really, who is the best?
They still weren't. Yeah, they still weren't anywhere near the favourites. Not squad for squad. If you look at squad for squad and player for player. Yeah, they had sort of 3 or 4 outstanding players. No Cristiano Ronaldo, who was just playing particularly well at the time as well.
It was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, he's lucky. He's lucky he never came down to Chaplow X Cone on a Sunday, mate. That's all I'm saying.
He wouldn't be able to cope with it.
Or 5 minutes it lasted, wouldn't he?
Yeah. He wouldn't have been able to cope with it, mate. And this is the thing. I've always turned around and said this. Chaplin Waits Cone is like this day and age's SC Dons. If we'd have had cameras, mate, or some of the teams that I was looking at, some of the the results and stuff like we were battering people like 10-0, and then we were coming up against sides and like scraping through the cups. I think we had the cup that we got to the semi-final. I think we had 2 penalty shootouts in it. I don't know how, but we had 2 penalty shootouts in it. And even the semi-final, we lost in it extra time. We lost 2-1. But no, it is different. It's like I was talking to someone the other day who was on my other podcast about the difference between the different levels of football and stuff like that. Would someone that plays at a higher level be able to come down at a lower level and be able to play? As much as we sit there and turn around and go, okay, the money side of it, but could they actually play? And this is the reason why I think the FA Cup's so good, because you can see how players are players. If they can go, what was it? What did we turn around and say? If they can go to a rainy night in Stoke,
cold Wednesday night, get kicked up in the air for 90 minutes.
But I think that's the reason why Ronaldo is the best player, because he has done that.
Yeah.
He's done it.
Yeah.
He's done it. He's been there. He's done it.
Doing it, didn't he?
Yeah. Right. What I'm going to do is the last bit of this, I'm going to go through fixtures. I'm going to have a look at the fixtures in the Premiership for this weekend, and I want to get your opinion.
All right.
So, Friday, there looks like there's only one game, and that's Wolves Leeds.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Wolves will win that 33-1.
Do you know what? I'm going to write these down. Down.
That's not my real. That's not my real one.
That's not your real one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write it down, and then next week I want to see how close we both are.
All right.
33. Do you know what? If it gets to like 5, 6, 7, 8, and it gets
you'll be on the phone going, Daz, did you stick a tenner on it?
Yeah, should have put some money on this. Really should have. Right, so pen works. So Wolves, Leeds seem right. Go on then. properly now?
God, it's going to be tight, but there's going to be goals. 2-2.
It's only because you've just seen Gary put 2-2.
Oh, is he really?
He's just.
I'm not even on that. I've just.
Can you not see that?
No, I haven't got it up on my screen. I'm just.
He's literally just put 2-2. Gary, write yours down as well. Right, put them in the chat, but write it down as well, and then next week we'll compare them to see how we all got on. Right, so you reckon 2-2?
Yeah.
Right. I reckon that's gonna be 3-1 Wolves.
3-1 Wolves.
The only being is just how I saw Leeds play against Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they got the 2 goals back, but I think Wolves are probably that a little bit better to shut them out at Molineux, to be honest.
Yeah. So it's going to be. Yeah, it could quite easily be 3-1, but it's not going to be 0-0.
It's definitely not going to be 0-0. It hasn't got no score draw written all over that at all.
No.
So the next one is Southampton Chelsea, because that's the early kickoff.
What you saying, Gaz? 4-1
Chelsea. He's put 3-1 Chelsea.
4-1. See, I picked a different one.
You've gone 4-1.
Yeah.
4-1 Chelsea. I don't know, because I think they might be a little bit disheartened at the moment. What was their last result?
Who might be disheartened?
Well, I'm sure that didn't Southampton play well in the last game. I see. This thing is, I've lost all track of Premiership games, to be perfectly honest. I watch Arsenal now and again, and even sometimes I miss their games, and I just catch results now and again. I know Chelsea have been. I know they won the last game they played. Let's have a look. 2-0 against Newcastle, wasn't it? And then Southampton. Yeah, actually, yeah. I kind of tend to agree. I probably agree with Gary more.
Yeah. Well, screw you.
So I'm going for 3-1. It's probably the only time I've ever agreed with Gary now, to be honest. So, next one is Burnley West Brom.
Oh God. 1-0.
Really?
Burnley West Brom.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Where are the goals coming from, Al? Hey, it's my prediction anyway. You're writing yours down.
Where the goals coming from?
Yeah.
Burnley.
Yeah, but not many.
I reckon 2-1.
Well, say what you want. It's your prediction.
I reckon 2-1. See, Gary's probably put 1-0 as well. Gary's gone 1-0 as well. Look, I reckon you're texting each other, aren't you?
No.
Wait, Gary, what's your
Really not.
Right. Liverpool. Oh, you got to take into account this is Derby Day and how Everton have been. Liverpool, Everton.
3-1 Everton.
3-1 Everton.
Yep.
Okay. Gary's gone 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I don't know. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton. I think Everton are going to sneak it. And, well, it depends if Alisson plays or not. Because if Alisson plays, seriously, I could have gone in goal. They were howlers.
Yeah.
See, this is where
he's had some stinkers, hasn't he?
This is where I agree with players getting sacked.
Yeah, that's it. Or punched in the face at least.
Yeah. P45.
Yeah. Yeah, P45. Yeah, I reckon they should just put it up in the corner on the big screen whenever they're playing bad.
I'm gonna. Gary's put that I wouldn't have been that far out of my box. No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't have even. I would have still been on my goal line. But I'd still watch it now, and I've watched it back a couple of times. How did he not see his own player there?
Yeah,
it's like he's come out with a blindfold on. It's just. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. Right. Fulham, Sheffield United.
Fulham, Sheffield United.
Yes.
Sheffield United will win that 2-1.
You went 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
What's Gary put? 2-0 to Fulham. He's on 2-0 Fulham. I'll go 1-1. I'll go 1-1 on that one. This is the big one. This is the absolute big one. This one. West Ham, Tottenham. Gary's gone 3-1 West Ham.
I was going to say 2-1 West Ham, if I'm honest. I'm feeling confident we can win that.
I hope you do. 2-1, you reckon, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to probably agree with you on that one. 2-1.
Yeah, back him right and all. You ain't got to be polite.
No, I'm not being polite. I just think that the Spurs at the moment, I don't know, they're doing what they normally do. Do you know what I mean? They have that, oh, look at me, we've got Harry Kane and we're going to win everything, and we've bought Gareth Bale and we're going to win everything, and they just dip off and win absolutely nothing. And that's one thing they do prove every season, that they don't win anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And as an Arsenal supporter, you kind of get happy with that. I'm happy with the FA Cup, and I'm happy with Charity Shield. That don't bother me. I'd probably want more, but right, Villa, Leicester, which, to be honest, looking at that, would be quite a high-scoring game.
Yeah, it could be quite a high-scoring game. 3-2 Leicester.
3-2 Leicester. Gary's gone 2-2. I'm going to go 3-0. Just for shits and giggles.
Just shits and giggles. Just why not? Because we've got pretty much all bases covered, unless it ends up being a fucking 0-0.
It won't be a 0. Nah, it can't be a 0-0. It can't be a 0-0. Well, I don't know. If they shut each other's midfields out, it probably is a 0-0. Arsenal, Man City. Be kind. Please be kind.
I mean, City are just beating people up at the moment, aren't they?
But it is Arsenal.
And Arsenal ain't. It is a big game. They are going to play up for it, aren't
they? Yeah, and the other thing is as well, you've got the mix of the Arteta situation, and you have got the mix that, which I find really strange, and I've really got to check these stats out. I'm sure that Arsenal have got the best defence in the league at the moment. I don't know how, but
I mean, it's fine to concede like very little goals, but if you're not scoring any either,
yeah, that's the thing. But maybe with Uber getting a hat trick the other day, that might give him a bit of confidence. Obviously, Emil Smith-Rowe's been playing well.
You're still playing City, mate. Whatever you do. I can't see Arsenal having many goals, and I think City would dominate them quite, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to say 3-1. I don't think they're going to Muller them. I think it'll be a 3-1.
Right. Gary put 3-0. Literally, I don't even think I got to the fixture and it was like 3-0.
Oh, really?
Man United, Newcastle.
2-0.
Good shout.
Mm.
Gary's gone in with a 3-0.
It's going to be one of them games. It's either going to be tight or it's going to be one-sided. It's not going to be an in-between game, is it? It's,
I think it's going to be 3-1 Man United. I don't know. I can't see. This is what we said earlier. You've got to see where the goals are coming from. And can you really see Newcastle getting more than one goal? But,
yeah, why not? I obviously can.
If they're going to, might as well do it then.
Exactly.
And the last one is Brighton Crystal Palace.
Tough games in the Premier League. Tough league, isn't it, really? Brighton Palace.
Yeah.
Brighton are tough to beat, aren't they? And Palace can just, Palace can turn it on, but then they can be complete dog shit. So, that's 1-0. That's got a 1-0 written all over it.
1-0. 1-0. Right, so you got 1-0. I'm going 2-1 Brighton. 2-1 Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So anyone that's in the chat, if they have had a guess, obviously I've seen that you've done it as well, Gary, that it doesn't stay in the chat, which is a bit of a bummer. So if you write it down.
Yeah, you said bummer.
Yeah. If everyone writes theirs down, we'll go through. And no cheating. I don't want no cheating where people, because what I'll do is I'll ask their predictions. Well, and there's no point asking predictions first because people are going to see the results anyway. Just don't cheat. Bit of fun.
That was brilliant.
Just it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'll ask your prediction first.
See the way that I would normally think, because we do basically there's another YouTube show which I used to be involved with before I started doing my own podcast. They do a Soccer Six, where obviously they pick out the 6 fixtures and you then email in and stuff like that. But I speak to the bloke that does it quite regularly, and he tells us the amount of work that you have to put in just to do 6 fixtures, because you get like 70 to 80 people emailing with all their fixtures, and you've literally got to try and work it all out and work out all points and everything like that. It's like it's an absolute nightmare. So yeah, all I'm saying is people just don't cheat. That's
a ball ache.
And what we'll do is we'll do it. So we've done the Premiership this week, and then week after we can do Championship, and then League 1, League 2, and then it starts getting interesting because we don't know any of the teams. You just literally it's a pure guess.
Yeah.
But no,
plucking whatever name you like.
Yeah.
What colour do they play in? Blue.
So, you ever done that when you got your missus and turn around and go, right, I'm going to have a bet on the National this weekend? And I'm like, all right, okay. What horse do you want to go for? The pink one. Or the purple one. Or just have a little look at the form just to see if we can, and I'll put a tenner on it. What? And it's usually the one that ends up coming like first, second, or third.
Yeah. Yeah. I do that. I do that each way for you, sweetheart. You know what I mean? Just in case. Like.
You could have won £50,000, but you've only won a £5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks for that one. Do you know what? That has been very enjoyable. It's a lot better than just talking on my own.
Yeah, well, I'm more interested in you and I, so.
To be honest, this is the thing. I think probably a lot of people have come on just to listen to you.
Well, they would do, naturally.
Is that me? Because I don't get this many people coming on a Friday.
So we'll start having we will have to have guests on.
People will be
And then
like,
we
yeah,
can
we're
just
bored of you two
terrorise them.
Definitely going to have to get Gary on.
Yeah,
Definitely going to
Gary's
have
got
to
to
get
come on.
Gary on.
Gary will come on. Yeah, that's
We
done.
can talk about his illustrious career that he's had.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd love it. You got to let us know now, Gary. So you got to put in the chat whether you're going to come on or not. So he's too. Oh yeah, he's put yeah.
He's say, he sat and listened to it, so it's no different to listening to it another time, just with headphones on.
You have to speak a little bit more instead of typing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, what we'll do is we'll as I say, we'll try and arrange it and get other people to come on, and we can have a chat and stuff like that. It's been an interesting night.
No, it's been cool. I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it as well. It's a little bit different to normally what I do on a Wednesday night, which is eating and sleep, which is pretty much most nights, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's all we do now. Because I think no one else does anything now. It's usually, oh, what are you doing tonight? Yeah, I might go for a run. Well, I ain't going to go for a run, so I won't be doing that.
No.
So it's either come home, eat, sit and watch TV for a little bit, and then go to bed. Or do this. So I've chosen to do this. But,
this is. I can sit down. I can just sit here on my pants, and no one knows.
Well, they do now. It's like those news reporters.
Yeah, but they don't know I'm touching myself.
They do now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I keep getting this shit wrong.
Why have our listeners gone up tenfold? No. If anyone's coming at the end, that's the completely different show.
Coming at the end, Al. Jeez, you turned it into an episode of Carry On.
And I think on that note,
yeah, we'll leave it there. It's starting to go downhill. We're getting tired.
Oh no, it has been fun. It has been fun. As I say, this goes out to let people know that kind of
to all the punks in the press who want to start shit by print license of the things we said.
I can't wait. It's going to be great in the next few weeks. It really is. Just basically, this now goes out. It will go out on Podbean, and then it will go out on Spotify after. It will go out onto my YouTube channel, but that just goes out as audio. It won't be going out as video. So that'll be on there as well. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to next week.
Me too.
Talking about our predictions and the football over the weekend, see if anything exciting happens over the weekend. See if Arsenal can actually beat City.
Yeah. Don't get your hopes up.
No,
I'll be honest. Ain't worth getting upset over, mate. It's just football.
No, I've got used to that now. But no, thank you for everyone that's listened. Thank you, Darren, for coming on and being my co-host.
No, thank you for having me.
And as I say, hopefully we'll have many more. I wouldn't say exciting shows, because I have to pick my words wisely when I talk to you.
Yeah, we go for exciting.
We'll go exciting. We'll go many more exciting shows.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Darren, I will see you next week. Everyone else, we will see you next week for another show. Until then, see you later.
See you later. Love you.
Love you too.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.